Section 53. Nalopakhyana Parva continued. Vrihadashva said, there was a king named Nala, the son of Virashena, and he was strong and handsome and well-versed in the knowledge of horses and possessed of every desirable accomplishment. And he was at the head of all the kings, even like the Lord of the celestials. And exalted over all, he resembled the sun in glory. And he was the king of the Nishadas, intent on the welfare of the Brahmanas, versed in the Vedas and possessed of heroism. And he was truth-telling, fond of dice, and the master of a mighty army. And he was the beloved of men and women, and of great soul and subdued passions. And he was the protector of all and the foremost of bowmen, and like unto Manu himself. And like him, there was among the Vidarbhas a king named Bhima, of terrible prowess, heroic and well disposed towards his subjects, and possessed of every virtue. But withal he was childless, and with a fixed mind he tried his utmost for obtaining issue. And, O Bharata, there came unto him once a Brahmarshi named Damana, and, O King of Kings, desirous of having offspring, Bhima, versed in morality, with his queen, gratified with illustrious rishi by a respectful reception. And Damana, well pleased, granted unto the king and his consort a boon in the form of a jewel of a daughter, and 3 sons, possessed of lofty souls and great fame. And they were called respectively Damayanti and Dama and Danta, and illustrious Damana. And the 3 sons were possessed of every accomplishment, and terrible mien, and fierce prowess. And the slender-waisted Damayanti in beauty and brightness and good name and grace and luck became celebrated all over the world. And on her attaining age, hundreds of handmaids and female slaves decked in ornaments waited upon her like Sachi herself. And Bhima's daughter of faultless features, decked in every ornament, shone in the midst of her handmaids, like the luminous lightning of the clouds. And the large-eyed damsel was possessed of great beauty, like that of Shri herself. And neither among celestials, nor among yakshas, nor among men was anybody possessed of such beauty seen or heard of before. And a beautiful maiden filled with gladness the hearts of even the gods, and a tiger among men. Nala also had not his peer in the 3 worlds. For in beauty he was like Kandarpa himself in his embodied form. And moved by admiration, the heralds again and again celebrated the praises of Nala before Damayanti, and those of Damayanti before the ruler of the Nishadas. And repeatedly, hearing of each other's speeches, they conceived an attachment towards each other, not begot of sight, and that attachment, O son of Kunti, began to grow in strength. And then Nala was unable to control the love that was in her bosom, And he began to pass much of his time in solitude in the gardens adjoining the inner apartment of his palace. And there he saw a number of swans, furnished with golden wings, wandering in those woods. And from among them he caught one with his hands. And thereupon the sky-ranking one said unto Nala, Deserve I not to be slain by thee, O king? I will do something that is agreeable to thee. O king of the Nishadas, I will speak of thee before Damayanti in such a way that she will not ever desire to have any other person for her lord. Thus addressed, the king liberated that swan. And those swans then rose on their wings and went to the country of the Vidarbhas. And on arriving at the city of the Vidarbhas, the birds alighted before Damayanti, who beheld them all. And Damayanti, in the midst of her mates, beholding those birds of extraordinary appearance, was filled with delight and strove without loss of time to catch those coursers of the skies. And the swans at this, before that bevy of beauties, fled in all directions, and those maidens there pursued the birds, each running after one. And the swan, after which Damayanti ran, having led her to a secluded spot, addressed her in human speech, saying, O Damayanti, there is a king amongst the Nishadas named Nala. He is equal unto the Ashwins in beauty, not having his peer among men. Indeed, in comeliness, he is like Kandarpa himself in his embodied form. O fair complexioned one, O thou of slender waist, if thou becomest his wife, thy existence and this thy beauty may be of purpose. We have indeed beheld celestials and Gandharvas and Nagas and Rakshasas and men, but never saw we before anyone like Nala. Thou also art a jewel among thy sex, as Nala is the prime among men. The union of the best with the best is happy. Thus addressed by the swan, Damayanti, O monarch, replied unto him there, saying, Do thou speak thus unto Nala also? Saying, So be it to the daughter of Vidarbha, the oviparous one, O king, returned to the country of the Nishadas, and related everything unto Nala.